Okay.
Okay, we are live. There we are. Hello, everybody. Today, I'm talking with Laura. She lives in Switzerland and she does an amazing type of coaching. She's a physician and helps people lose weight with a very different program than most of them that I've seen. So I want to introduce you guys to her. There she is. And I haven't even said who I am. Sorry about that. I'm Diana. I'm a life coach. And yeah, I'm talking with Laura. Would you like to introduce yourself a bit?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Desans, and I am a family physician. And I have been working for 15 years in a clinical practice. And there I had a lot of patients who were struggling with weight loss. And most of them have tried several different kind of diets, shakes, powders, and so on. And most of them reach to lose their weight. But the thing is that after some weeks or some months, they gain all their weight back. And this has really, this was something that I was telling myself, but why this is happening? Why only a 4% of the people reach to maintain their weight loss, which is the missing point or the missing piece in the weight loss industry. And the thing is that I have discovered that there are two things. And the first one is that they are treating obesity or which is overweight as a symptom and not from the root cause of the problem. So it's like the example of somebody who has broken his arm and they are just treating the symptom, which is pain. So of course, pain is going to be, it's going to improve, but the cause will still there. Yeah. And if we are not fixing the cause, he will always have pain and he risks to have other complications or side effects after a while. Yeah. So this is the thing that I think that weight loss industry is missing, treating the problem from the root cause. And the root cause of the problem is always that we are overeating. So we are either eating more than our body needs, or we are eating enough to maintain our weight, our current weight. And this is happening because of three main causes, which are we feel over hunger. So we feel more hunger than we should. And this is normally due to hormonal imbalance. The second reason, it's because we feel over desire. Our brain just gives more importance to food and an urgency for eating food. And this is due to our modern eating patterns. So especially the things that we are eating, sugar, flour, and processed food, especially. And the third one is that we are, most of us, emotional eaters. So we are, instead of feeling our emotions, we are using food to cope with negative emotions. And this is something that we have been conditioned since very early in our history. So I remember myself when I went to the doctor, to the pediatrician, and I had a vaccine. He usually gave me a candy or something sweet afterwards. Yeah. So I quickly made this connection between feeling bad or pain or feeling fear or being afraid and the reward of eating something, and especially sugar. So this is one of the, for me, this is the thing that weight loss industry is missing. And then there's also something else, and it's how we people are approaching the weight loss. So most of my clients, when they come to me, they have been always approaching this weight loss from a place of resistance, from a place of even self-loathing. Okay, it's like this kind of thoughts like I want just to get rid of all these extra pounds as soon as possible. I can't stand to see myself in the mirror. Or for example, when there's food around them, this must be delicious, but I can't have this now. or I shouldn't eat this. This kind of things make that people feel this journey of weight loss from a place of resistance and a lot of deprivation. But deprivation, it's not coming from a restriction in a diet. Deprivation is always coming from what we are making that diet mean, So this is one thing. And then I think that we should find another way to be fueled by when we are through this journey of weight loss, something like self-love or more compassion about us, more determination, more discipline. It would be, the change would be like, for example, there's a lot of food, delicious food, but I can eat this, but I choose not to eat that. Or this is not going to be the best fuel for my body, or something like, I just want to make my body feel great, and myself as well. So when we are approaching this weight loss from a place of, I want to take care of myself, this journey is really much more, I would say, I don't know if comfortable it's the word, but at least I think that the growth that we experience during this journey is higher than when we are making from a place of resistance, which is finally, it is not sustainable.
It's with a lot of things in life. When you start doing something and you don't actually want to do it, you're not going to get any results. But when you do it because you want to take care of yourself, you want to create a better future, whatever the goal is, but you do it from a good headspace, then you definitely have much more of a chance of actually creating that. And when you do it from a super positive, you will definitely do it. So it depends a bit on the levels of how positive you are about it.
That's it.
Yeah, it's fascinating how the brain works with all of these things.
It's amazing. It's really amazing.
Yeah. Is there anything specific with weight loss or with being overweight or obese that is really different in the brain or in the mindset of people than it is with people who are on a healthy weight? Or is that not really all that different? Because some people have it quite easy. They don't really gain weight that easily. And I have seen that women who get somewhat older tend to gain somewhat more weight. And that's not always something they appreciate.
So you mean in the mindset, especially?
Yeah, one of the things that I have realized is that when you go through menopause, many women do gain some weight, but I also see that some people before that already really have this different way of, I think, different way of thinking than people. Yeah, how do I put that? So a lot of it I can't thinking instead of being active, being that they're very frequently a bit more negative, I think, when they approach themselves. There's less self-love, I guess. That's probably where I'm going. Yeah, I think that's the thing where a lot of people get stuck who are dealing with being overweight or more.
Yes. So it comes always to our self-talk. So the mental chatter, the things that we are telling ourselves are going to make us feel in a certain way. And when we feel in a certain way, when we feel an emotion, we are going to take some actions or some inactions that will finally end up creating a result in our lives. So of course, if we are all the time telling ourselves, I can do that, this is very difficult, or I can stand to see myself in the mirror, or something like this, or I just deserve a treat. This is very tricky, it's like, I have got a hard day, I need a treat, I deserve this, So all these sentences which can sound very true at that moment and very legit are finally thought errors that are going to make us feel this urge, this over desire for eating that at that moment. And when we are telling ourselves, I can do that, I hate my body, things like this, it's not going to create in ourselves an urge, but it's going to create in ourselves this self-loathing or this feel of frustration. And this is going to make us, bring us closer to overeat again. And therefore continue fueling this negative cycle.
Yeah, I guess there's also this thing of when you are in a more healthy weight, moving is easier than when you're not. So when you're already in that self-loathing, you're not going to do more moving. You're not going to, because you just don't feel good enough about yourself. So you're not going to take care of yourself.
Exactly. But you know, one of the things that I see also with my clients is that they think that when they get that weight goal that they have, they are going to be happier. They are going to like themselves more when they look at the mirror. You know, all it's going to change. They just need to be there. But this is not true, because when they get there, in fact, life continues and there's going to be other problems. And you know, also because most of the people are just focusing on their weight, their food, and their image. And they are, it is like a way of distracting themselves from other problems. So when they start to manage their mind, to lose their weight, and things is going, so they are start to lose their weight, all those things that they weren't aware of because they were just focusing on that start to appear in the surface. So there are other things to fight for. You know,
that requires a different place of thinking, I guess.
Exactly. That's the reason why it's very important to work especially with the mindset. All the things that we tell ourselves, because our thoughts create our results.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the hormone part, is that a big player or a small player? What do you have?
I think it's a bigger player.
Okay.
It is something that can be resolved, can be fixed with adaptation in the way you are eating. So especially what you are eating and when you are eating.
That's
so
cool.
Hormonal imbalance, it's coming usually. So some people may have also this medical condition, which is called insulin resistance. But this can also be provoked by our way of eating. So if we are eating all the time regularly, I mean, sugar, flour, and processed food, we are stimulating too much this insulin, which is a storage hormone. Okay. And when we are storing, so from one place we are storing all the time, so we are getting fat. And this hormone is going also to have an impact on our hormone of hunger and fullness.
Okay, that makes sense.
When there's a lot of insulin, we are going to feel more hunger and we are going to have more difficulties to sense that fullness when we are eating. So the idea is to reduce, to have the insulin levels as lower as possible. In order to rebalance that. So for a certain period, we have to reduce all which is sugar, flour, and processed food to rebalance that. But after a while, we can reintroduce little by little and check how is it going. So it's going to be different from one person to another.
Yeah, of course, that makes sense. We all have different ways of how we metabolize our foods. So when someone is, say, 30 kilos overweight, which is about 60 pounds, I guess, how long does that take to get to the healthier weight? Because a lot of people want it overnight, but I'm pretty sure that's not a good plan.
No, never. No, so this depends really on each person. So I have seen, for example, people who are losing from the first day. They are losing weight gently. And I have also got some clients who haven't lose any weight for the 6 first weeks. So this is sometimes very challenging, you know, because you say, but I am doing all the things good and I cannot see the results. But after the 6 weeks, it's just like they are, the weight is dropping much more faster. So
that's interesting. I've actually heard of people who started doing the shakes that they didn't lose any weight for the first 3-4 weeks as well. So I guess that's depending on body type, how your body reacts.
Exactly. And there are also other ones who are going to, for example, react very fast to the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Okay. And also when we reduce the sugar, flour, they are going to lose weight very quickly. But this is, again, because we are lowering this insulin, and insulin, one of the other things that it's doing, it's retaining. The water retention. It's more important when we have all the time insulin. So once we start to establish, to rebalance these levels of insulin, we see that all this water is going outside, and therefore we see that the number on the scale go down. And these are the people who are losing very quickly in the beginning, but suddenly they stop after some weeks and they say, hey, but what is happening here? I was losing very fast in the very beginning, and now I am like establishing. But this is because they have lost too much in the beginning, but it was not really weight. It was not really fat. It was just some water.
I've heard that with some of the diets, that when you do those, you end up losing weight really quickly, then you plateau for a while before you start to get to the next level, because it's kind of a step plan, I guess, how your body will react to it. It's quite fascinating. So the way you work is initially lowering, by the sound of it, the intake of carbohydrates, because that's what sugar and flour is, and processed foods, and then building up a more sustainable diet together with your client, what will work for them, and probably also within their culture, because people have different food types. And then you take it from there. It's a very different approach than most of the people that I've heard so far. So it's really interesting what you're doing.
Yes, because I think that finally what we really need, it's not a universal diet. A diet, all the diets will help you to lose weight. So when you change something in your diet, in the way you are eating, you are always or almost always lose some weight. But the thing is that then it has to be sustainable. And you have to maintain it. And this is the difficult part. Because when we are talking about lasting changes, there's also the mind and your emotional management that enters in the game. And this is the other part that I am working again also. Sorry.
Oh, the sun came out.
Yes. Oh, like this.
Yeah, this is better than the other way.
Oh my God.
Oh, now it's good.
Yeah, I have put my arm here. I'm going to put the paper. Voila.
Yeah, now you're totally good again. Hardly any sun interfering. I sometimes have it from the back that the sun starts interfering. That's
yeah.
Where were we? Trying to get back to where we were before the sun came out.
We were talking about how I am approaching the weight loss. So it's about this through diet, let's say like this, nutrition, which is the body part, but I am also working on the mind part, the mindset, and the emotional part as well.
Yeah, that's great, because that's really helpful. Because what I've seen is, when you go on a diet, you just do that, and then afterwards you basically fall back again into your old habits, because it was just a diet that you did for 6 weeks. What else are you going to do? You're not going to stick to that diet for the rest of your life, because most of them
it
are
has
really
to be
not sustainable.
Exactly. So this is something that I also tell, that we have to approach the way we are going to eat as a sustainable and long-term way of eating. So it's really a lifestyle changing.
Yeah, so it's you create the sustainable diet right off the bat, right from the start, and then because that's what they need for their body type, they will start losing weight until they are to the weight that they want to be, and then they can just stay there because they eat the amount of food that's necessary for that weight.
Exactly.
Do you start with some who are much higher in weight with a bit more, so that they don't feel like it's going too fast, or is it just about right away starting with that sustainable diet?
What do you mean exactly?
Well, I have heard at some point of someone who was talking about weight loss that they would start someone off with lower calories than what they would normally eat, but not as low as what would be their ideal calories.
I am not talking about calories at all. I don't
Okay.
believe in that. So
Okay.
you don't have to eat less
Mm-hmm.
and move more. This is something that
Okay.
we have all learned and that
Yep.
I have also preached as a doctor. Okay. But that I have discovered that that's not true.
Okay.
Because our body functions like a thermostat.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a body set weight. We have
Yep.
a weight of reference, and
Mm-hmm.
our body is going always to come back to that weight. So when we are, for example, eating less,
Yeah.
we start to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
But at a certain moment, we can see that our weight loss is going slower.
Yeah.
And this is because all the alarms of our body starts to function because we want to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
our bodies, it's like telling, hey, I am losing too much weight. I have to come back. So after a while, even if you are doing the things right,
yeah,
you are going and you continue to do the same thing, you are going to start to gain weight again. Okay. And this is because our body is going to, for example, one of the things that it's going to do is to slow down our metabolism. And this is going to make you gain some weight. It's going to expend less energy after doing exercise, for example. And this is another way that our body has to preserve our current weight. You know, so he has all the mechanisms to preserve our weight and come back always to the same weight.
Okay. Can you find a way to get that weight, that base weight that your body wants, lowered?
Yes.
Because that sounds like a very tricky.
That's, yeah. And that's the point. And it's about playing with the hormones again.
Okay.
So we have to, the only way that we have to slow down this body set weight, it's by reducing our insulin again.
Okay. So that's insulin related.
Yes.
So how does that, because with a lot of women, you see that they start out quite skinny as a teenager or still fairly skinny as in their 20s, then they have a baby and things change, and then they have another baby, things change even more, then menopause hits, and then they have this thing of, oh my God, I'm lost in life because this will never become a good thing again. So how does that work? Do you have anything interesting about that? Because that's what I see with so many people.
Well, I would say that there's the hormonal part.
Yeah.
But it can always be treated. So first of all, we have to check every time if there's, for example, a problem with the thyroid. Okay, thyroid.
Yeah. Thyroid, yeah.
Thyroid.
Yeah.
Or if there are other hormonal problems, okay, including insulin resistance.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And then after that, if we don't find anything, we have to come back again to the things that we are telling ourselves.
Yeah.
And so how are we managing our emotions? Because most of us, we may say, no, I am eating well. And this is something that I have also seen. So when I say, okay, give me your meal plan, and I see that it's almost perfect, but the person isn't writing down just a little piece of cheese or chocolate because it's just a little portion.
Yeah.
You know, because maybe sometimes she even forgot about this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get that, because it's easy to just take a snack from somewhere and not even think about eating it.
And
or
then
someone gives you something.
And then there's also another thing which is related, for example, with menopause, and it's the sleep problems. If we are not sleeping well, we are going to increase our weight again.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a higher release of cortisol, which is the stress hormone.
Yeah.
Cortisol, it's like a cortisone, but the one that we are sensitizing.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, so it's just going to make us fat again. And it's the same with the stress. One person can eat perfectly, exercise, and do all the things perfectly. And just because she is stressed, even if she's not eating for coping with this stress, just the fact of being stressed, there's going again to be this release of cortisol that it's going to make us gain more weight.
I guess that's one of the reasons why a lot of people who get divorced end up losing weight, because the stress levels go down.
Exactly.
I've seen that so often.
Exactly. Yes.
That's interesting.
That's it.
Yeah. It's quite complex. It's not just a
it's very complex.
One size fits all for anybody.
Exactly. No, that's it. And you know, all the diets are presented like, hey, I have the solution. It's that easy. You just have to eat, I don't know, 1,200 calories per day, and that's all. No, my friend, it's not that easy. And the result is there. Only 4% of the people reach to lose the weight and maintain it in a long term.
Yeah, that's too little.
It's too little.
4% is just not going to bring it. And then what I find sad at times is that people are then blamed as in, well, you didn't do it right. But when you don't have all the information, you can't do it right.
Of course.
And that makes it really hard. Yeah.
But it has to be really an approach which is holistic. And personalized as well, because not every body will function the same way. So you can see that two people are eating exactly the same and they are exercising exactly the same. But one is gaining weight and the other one is losing weight, because there are so many things that contribute to that weight loss or weight gain that it has to be really personalized.
Yeah, that makes total sense. We have been talking for a nice amount of time, which has been really nice. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, I think that if I would like to add something, it's that because this is always something that I found, and people, after not succeeding in several times of changing and trying to lose weight, they end up thinking that this is not possible for them. But I would like just to let the door open to this possibility, and this is really doable for anybody who works from a place of I would say a global space, so not only in a diet, but also work with the mind, work with the emotions. I think that this is really the way to do this.
It sounds like you figured out how to do it. So then I want to tell everybody that when they want to contact you, they can find you on Facebook, and that they can send you a message, and that you will definitely figure out with them what will be the right approach for them. Exactly. Is there another way to contact you, or is it best from Facebook?
I have an email address, which is hello@lauradesans.com.
Okay.
And I also have a landing page where I talk about this, what we have been discussing today, and also my program, which is lauradesans.com.
Okay. All right. I will make sure that all the information that you would like with the video is going to be there. Thank you very much for this conversation today. I've really enjoyed it. It was really interesting. I have learned a few more things, which is really, really nice. And I think everybody who has been watching has learned something as well.
Thank you. Thank you. You too, Diana.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
We will stop.